Hi everybody, you are watching the Key channel and I am Saeed. In this video, how to adjust and of course in the first place how to use a red dot finder. If you're interested in stargazing and telescope, I have another video for you, how to polar align equatorial mount, and another video about how to collimate your Newtonian telescope. Both can help you a lot. Back to the issue, in this video I want to talk about how to adjust a red dot finder. The reality is that if you want to see an object in the night sky, for example a star over there, you just move your telescope toward it and you try to see it. It's almost entirely impossible because a very small movement in the tube will be translated into thousands of kilometers of movement in this space, so you cannot find it in this way. Of course, you need to have a kind of finder. Most finders are really binoculars mounted on the telescope. You can look through it, and with some very small amount of very small power of magnification, it can show you the night sky. You can roughly adjust your tube and then finally look through the eyepiece and find your object. Many people do not like something like this, a red dot finder. Maybe because they don't know how to use it. If you use it exactly and if you can adjust it yourself, you will love it. It is really a modern solution for this problem. What you need to do, I want to show you how to adjust it, of course, because my channel is about adjusting and repairing. But in the first place, I want to show you how really you can use it in a few minutes. Look at this. Move your telescope, for example, I have a star over there. Move your telescope toward it and look through the red dot finder when it is on. Of course, you will see through it in this way. But look, keep both eyes open. Look through it, but with both eyes open. Let's see in practice how we can find a specific star in the night sky. Here is a star that you want to look at. Turn on your red dot finder and move your eyes or your head and try to create something like this. Two overlapping red circles. Then you can put them on each other by moving your head and your eyes. Exactly at this moment you will see a hollow circle inside them. This is the thing that you need to put on your object to be able to see it. And let me clear this fact that there is no need to be very exact to create concentric circles. There's no need to do that. Just look through your red dot finder in a way that you can put these two circles onto each other. At this moment you will see this hollow circle. Move the telescope toward your object and put this hollow circle on your object. Now you have done. You now can look through your eyepiece to see your object from there with some more movements of a telescope. Now I want to show you something very important. I am moving the head of my telescope to our left, right, upward, downward, and you can see that the adjustment is changing. In many cases you cannot see that star exactly inside that hollow circle. It is normal and natural because with these movements we are not able to see that star anymore. Now I am moving my camera, resembling my eye. As you can see, with the movements of the camera, still the star is inside that hollow circle, meaning that there is no need to be exact at the time of looking through your finder. Just try to put these two circles onto each other. You create an exact hollow circle, which is your guide toward finding that object. This is one of the greatest features of the red dot finder. If your red dot finder is exactly adjusted before, you can right now look through the eyepiece and see your object very easily. I mean, when you have found that object with your finder, exactly at that moment you can see it through the eyepiece. And do not forget the fact that if you have started to use your telescope right now, tonight, and before that, you haven't seen anything in the night sky, what you will see is something like this. A very large circle, which is quite bright at the center. This is exactly what you wanted to see. Just focus. That's enough, and you will see that object. To adjust the red dot finder, I have 4 steps for you. If you do them exactly, you will finally adjust your finder without a doubt, and you don't need to repeat anything one more time. Step number 1 is that you need to bring your red dot finder into its neutral position or into its middle position. Look at this. I have 2 screws in here. I rotate them. You may have 2 knobs, one for vertical and another for horizontal movement. There is no difference. The basics are the same. Rotate them, the knobs or screws, until to their end. They're idle now. And then rotate them one more time into their limit. Now you got the idea of where is the middle of this adjustment for this kind of red dot finder. Keep it in that position. It helps you a lot doing the things really easier. Step number 2. Find a really bright star in the night sky. Move your telescope toward it and find it easily with your red dot finder. Look through it with both eyes open and find it. And then look through the eyepiece. When you look through the eyepiece, you need to focus. Of course, you can see a lot of stars at this moment, and one of them is that bright star, and it may not be in your view at this moment. Look through it and focus. After focusing, you can see those stars, various dim stars over there. Step number 3. In this moment, you need to find that bright star from your telescope, of course. You can do 2 things, which basically the same things. You can move slightly the tube of your telescope, or instead, you can lock the telescope and then use slow motion knobs to find that star. Try to find it and bring it to the center. When it is at the center, this is a time to go to the final step, number 4. Again, look through the finder and adjust the knobs or screws. Let's see it in practice. I have 2 examples for you. The hollow circle of the red dot finder doesn't show exactly the point that we want. It means that the finder is not aligned yet. Now I am working with the screws of the finder until I can see a condition in which the star and both circles are exactly on the same line. What I am doing here is slightly different from the thing that you can see in practice, and I will describe it for you. The star and both circles are now aligned. Now I move the camera, and you can see exactly that the star is inside the hollow circle. What is going on in here is that in practice, when you are working on those screws, you normally and effortlessly changing the position of your eyes and your head, and you see exactly the thing that you can see right now. Using a camera, I needed to change the position of those screws and then move the camera afterwards. So, what you will do in practice is really easier than the adjustment that you can see in this video. Here is another example in which the finder points a place which is slightly higher and tilted toward the left of our object. Now I'm working on the screws until I can put all of these things, the star and both circles, on one line. Now I feel that they are on one line. It might be slightly out of adjustment, and with the movement of the camera, we can see that a star is almost at the center of that hollow circle. It means that the alignment is done. As I described to you, what you will see in practice is exactly the thing that you are watching at right now. Because of the fact that in practice you are moving your eyes and your head effortlessly with the movement of those screws. What I did in here was to resemble your eye with a camera. That made things slightly more sophisticated. If your adjustment is exact, you can find the object very easily with the red dot finder, meaning that if you can spot that object with your finder exactly at that moment, you can see it through your eyepiece. No other movement of the tube is needed for you. Because of that, it is really a modern solution for this problem. If you're interested in creating such videos, you may wonder how it is possible to film a star. Of course, it is really faint to be filmed. Look at this. This circuit that I've created before this video was my model for a star. A white LED powered by two small batteries, watch batteries, and a potentiometer to change its brightness for taking a video. When you use it in a dark room, it really helps you creating something which resembles a star. Thanks for watching my video and let me know about your ideas in comments.